Holly and welcome back to my book world. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you all of the books that I bought/received in the month of October because it was my birthday. So I was given 5 books from my boyfriend. He took me to the bookstore and I got to pick out 5 books, which was super exciting. So I think I have about 15, 16, maybe even 17 books to show you guys today. So let's just jump right on in so this video isn't an hour long. So yeah, with that being said, the first book that I picked up is my most prized possession on my shelf, and that is a signed copy of Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This so far is absolutely amazing. I'm about 6 chapters in, maybe even 5, but so far all I know is this follows a girl, her best friend, and a boy, and the girl and her best friend found out that the boy's father has just gone missing, and there is a money reward of like $13,000 or some crazy amount of money to find out where he went or any information that they know the whereabouts of his father. So her best friend thinks that it's a good idea to go over to the boy's house and try to figure out where his father went, because she wants the cash reward, of course. And that is all I know. I go into every John Green book not knowing anything. I've read every single one of John Green books that he has written and co-written as of October. So I'm super intrigued by this, and once I'm done this, I will have read every single one, and hopefully he writes another one soon, and not as long as the wait that we had to wait for this one. And like I said, this is a signed copy. And I haven't even opened this book yet, besides to look at the signature, because I'm reading this on my iPad, because I don't want to crease or wreck this book. Oh my gosh. But anyways, there is his signature in green. Oh my god, I love this book. Ugh. Even if I don't end up liking the story, I'm still gonna love this book because it is signed by John Green. Oh my god. Oh my god. The second, third, and fourth book that I purchased by myself, and the other 2 were gifted to me or I picked out at the bookstore when my boyfriend took me. And that is Frostfire, Ice-Kissed, and Crystal Kingdom, all by Amanda Hocking. This is a trilogy. Ultimately follows a girl who's trying to prove that she can protect the kingdom, and there's an attack on the kingdom in which she's trying to prove, and I think she's trying to kind of get her mind off of it because she's slowly falling in love. She's slowly falling in love with her boss. That's really all I know, except this is also in the world of the Trill series, and that is a trilogy. If you haven't heard of it, it consists of Switch, Torn, and Ascend, also by Amanda Hocking, of course, and I absolutely love that. So I'm super excited to pick this up, hopefully in the month of November. Oh my god, it's November. Today I'm filming and it's November. Where has the time gone? But anyways, like I said, this is a trilogy. I'm super pumped. This is the first one. The second one is Ice-Kissed, and of course the third one is Crystal Kingdom. The fifth book I think I'm on that I picked up very early. I think I got this right on the day of my birthday, so October 3rd, and that is The Effort List, which I did read in October, so that will also be in my October wrap-up, and this is by Julie Halpern. This follows a girl who has cancer and her best friend, and she ultimately wants her best friend to finish her bucket list, which they decide to call it The Effort List because some of the stuff on the list is probably not very appropriate. But yeah, this was like a 2.5-star read for me. Yeah, there will be a review up for this one just because I have so many thoughts about it. So yeah, this is the 5th book that I bought in October. The 6th book that I have to show to you today is a very large book. I'm listening to the audiobook of this and it is taking me forever. I was hoping to finish it in October, but there was just so many other books that I wanted to read and dive into that this is just taking me forever. I listen to this when I'm doing dishes. I listen to it when I'm cleaning my house. I tried to listen to it as much as possible, but it is 44 hours long, and ultimately I don't have 44 hours to sit and not sleep and listen to this nonstop. And if you haven't guessed, that is It by Stephen King. This is a horror, mystery, thriller, whichever you'd like to categorize this in, and if you don't know, Pennywise the Clown. I've seen the old movie. I want to see the new one, but I want to finish this one before I see the new one, probably because by the time I finish this one, the new movie will be out of theaters and probably on DVD by now, because it's just that sad. And like I said, it's like over 1,000 pages. And I was thinking about physically reading this book, but I just want to read so many other ones definitely the audiobook is where it's gonna be for me. And the narrator, I actually really enjoy. I love how he changes his voice, and some of the wording that they use in the olden days is not okay now, so that's just a trigger warning if you guys are going to go into this. Some of the language and the way they portray the language isn't necessarily the nicest, but please be aware that when you do go into this, it's not a new day book. It was written in the olden days, and it is set in the olden days, so that language back then was okay. So I kind of have to go through it thinking, okay, that language is not appropriate now. It's not very nice. It's not very pleasant to say, but back then it was okay and they got by in society with that language. So it's just definitely a warning if you guys are wanting to go into this and read it. Definitely if you guys are intimidated by the size, I definitely would suggest going in to the audiobook. The narrator is absolutely perfect. His Pennywise voice is very creepy, and just the way he portrays the characters and stuff is actually, I really enjoy. So yeah, this is another book that I picked up in October. The next book that I got when my boyfriend took me shopping is The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This is ultimately a Christmas Carol retelling following a girl. That's all I really know, that it's a Scrooge and she's a girl, Holly Chase, and that's all I really needed to know to pick this book up. So yeah, this is the next book that I picked up in the month of October. Moving on to the next book that I got when I went with my boyfriend, I got The Reader by Tracy Chee. I'm not too sure what this is about, just the cover is so intriguing. The second one just came out and I think it's called Speaker, and that cover looks absolutely beautiful, so I wanted to pick this up, check it out. And basically the back is what made me pick it up, and all the back says is, "This is a book, you are the reader, Look closer, there's magic here. In Sephia's world, reading is unheard of, but everything changes when she finds the book. It is the one thing that can save her. It is the one thing that can destroy her. And any book that is about a book that is magic is sold in my book world. Like, I gotta pick this up. If it mentions that it's a book and it's magic and it's perfect and it's gonna save your life or destroy it, it's gonna be on my shelf. So I'm excited to hopefully pick this up relatively soon so I can pick up the second one if I really do enjoy this. I've gone into the mood where I used to buy series in full before I read it, or if there was 2 books out in the series, I'd buy both. But I've kind of come to realize that, okay, I'm gonna pick the first one up first, because if I don't like the first one, I know I'm not going to read the second one, so then I have a book on my shelf that I'm never going to read, and I'm trying to control my TBR, as well as I put myself on a book buying ban in November, so hopefully that works out as planned. Yeah, I can't see it working out, but hopefully it definitely works out. The next book I picked up is called Frost Blood by Ellie Blake. I'm not too sure what this is about. The second book just came out, I do believe, called Fireblood. I'm super intrigued by the cover. Fireblood is the one that really intrigued me to pick up the first one. And I kept seeing this cover and I just kept getting more excited for it, I guess. Not really excited, but I was getting more intrigued by the cover, and this was basically a cover by. So yeah, all I know is it's about a girl, I think, who has powers or something like that, and I'm kind of into the fantasy worlds where there's powers and stuff like that, so this is the next book that I picked up. Another book that I picked up in the month of October is one I actually ordered on Amazon just to make my order worthwhile, because I ordered some DVDs or TV series that are relatively old. Gilligan's Island, if you haven't heard, and Married with Children. One of them was for my dad. Well, basically 2 of them were for my dad, but I'm a fan of Married with Children, so I kind of stole that first. But to make that order worthwhile, I ordered Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. I've heard nothing but great things about this. This is a YA contemporary, I do believe, and that's all I really need to know. YA contemporary is my all-time favorite. I think this kind of deals with suicide, but I could be wrong, so don't take my word for it. But ultimately, I love the cover, I've heard great things, and it's YA contemporary, so it was sold, and it was super cheap on Amazon, so I really couldn't pass up the deal. The next book on this list is Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, and I'm super excited for Puddin', and the movie is coming out for this, which is ultimately why I picked it up. I really just love the whole aspect of an overweight protagonist, and that is really what sold me, because in most YA books, or even in adult books, the protagonist is not really overweight. They're like these super skinny, really angelic women, and I like that, but I am not a super skinny angelic woman, so I like reading about ones that are, you know, not really, I can't even say overweight because overweight women shouldn't feel like they're overweight, but I mean bigger sized girls or women. I just love the whole aspect of that there's a protagonist that isn't a stick, and there's nothing wrong with being a stick. I like that there's different diversity in this book, and I'm super excited because the movie looks absolutely fantastic. The casting has been coming up like crazy, and I'm hopefully going to get to this in November just because I am so intrigued, and because Pudding comes out in 2018, so hopefully I get to this very, very soon. Moving on is a book that I literally got for like $6. It's a hardcover book. I know barely nothing about it, and then I bought this, and then I looked on Goodreads, and it has terrible reviews, which makes me apprehensive going into it, but I am going to give it a shot just because I'm not going to judge a book on other people's ratings and opinions on it. So maybe one person's book that they hate, maybe another person's love, and I'm hoping that's the case with this book, and that is The Girl Who Fell by S.M. Parker. Like I said, I don't know nothing about this book. The back just says, Zephyr Doyle has her eyes set on the future until the moment he walks into her life. This boy who smells like oranges, who tastes like spearmint and freedom. This boy named Alec who is about to sweep Zephyr off her feet and never let go. Never. So, YA Contemporary. It was $6. I picked it up. Didn't look at other reviews. I wish I would have, but then again, maybe I'll find my next favorite book. You never know. Moving on to the last 4 books that I picked up / received in October. The first being Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. I am currently reading this. I have about 50, maybe even 70 pages left to finish this. I'm super excited. This follows a girl. It's set way back in the day, and she is ultimately, of course, ladies were supposed to go to tea, and they're supposed to be almost like housewives. But this girl is infatuated with dissecting bodies and the whole forensics, which actually is very intriguing and interesting to me because I did take forensics in high school. So learning and reading about the forensics aspect to this is absolutely amazing. And of course, there's murders going on in this town, and they're trying to figure out who it is. Her uncle is her teacher to learn how to dissect these bodies and learn how the murder take place. And her uncle gets accused. That may have given away a little bit, but ultimately that is a major plot point, and she's trying to prove that he is not guilty of the murders and trying to figure out actually who done it because she really does not believe her uncle committed the crime. Moving on to the next one, if you didn't guess, is the sequel to Stalking Jack the Ripper, and it is Hunting Prince Dracula, and it, of course, is also by Kerri Maniscalco. I'm not too sure what this one is about, but since I am enjoying the first one so much and I'm so intrigued by it, I'm excited to dive on into this one next. I don't need to know too much, except it's probably going to involve Prince Dracula, and I'm super pumped to get into this one and dive into the same characters, and yeah, I really hope it's just as enjoyable as the first one. Moving on to the last 2 books on this list. They are both thriller, mystery, horror, whichever you prefer to categorize them in, and the first one being A Stranger in a House by Shari Lapena. This follows a guy who comes home and his wife is gone. She leaves a note, and then he gets a call saying that there was a car accident and that she was involved, and that's basically all I know going into this. I love the synopsis or like the blurb inside the book because it's almost reading like you were making dinner, this happens, you were doing this. It almost makes you feel like you're actually the character within the story, which really intrigued me. I don't know if that's how it reads out, but I'm super excited to get into this. I read horror, mystery, thriller books all year round. It doesn't just have to be Halloween or fall or anything like that for me to pick this up. It could be even Christmas for me to pick up a good horror book. I'm just weird that way. I really enjoy them. So hopefully this one is ultimately enjoyable and exciting, and hopefully there's some twists because I just love a good mystery thriller with major plot twists. The stack of books beside my chair is literally about to fall, and I hope when I add the last book onto it, it doesn't topple over and wreck some books. That's always a fear of mine. And moving on to the very last book on this list, and that is The Hanging Girl by Eileen Cook. I don't know nothing about this book except obviously you know, it's exciting. It says, trust no one, deceive everyone. It has like tarot cards on the back. I think this girl is trying to say that she can read minds or something. The back says, reading people is a talent. I've always been a good observer. I watch their body language to see if it matches their words. The image they work so hard to show off tells me what they're trying to hide. Like I said, I don't need to know too much. Books on Lala, enjoyed it. I think she gave it like a 3 out of 5 star or something. Ultimately, that's where I found it. I read the back of it. I'm intrigued by this. Again, I wanted more horror, mystery, thriller books on my shelf to read because I'm running low. So this was definitely the last and next book that I picked up. That is all for my October book haul. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I am thinking about doing a contemporary TBR shelf tour, if you will call it that. This whole shelf right here behind me is all of my contemporary young adult reads that I have not read yet. It has a shelf of their own, so if you guys are interested in seeing more in depth with that, please let me know and I'll be happy to film a little tour of all of the YA contemporary books that I have on my shelf that I have to read. Oh my god, that was almost a tongue twister, but not all at the same time. But anyways, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed my October book haul. It was a doozy. November, I do not know if there will be a book haul. Maybe if I got like 1 or 2, but I'm on a book buying ban, so hopefully it works. But if you see in November a book haul, or at the end of November, beginning of December, a November book haul, you know I failed. So, October was a splurge month. It was my birthday. I don't feel one bit sorry about it. November, book buying ban. Probably not going to happen, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye!